Hey guys, welcome to today's class. Today we're gonna continue with the unit number 9. And the first topic that we have is reading. Okay? In the first exercise, they ask us, how many famous dancers do you know? Discuss with a partner. Okay? So you already know what to do. Call your classmates and ask them these questions. Do you know any famous dancers? One, two, or maybe more? You remember that some artists that you like, some singers, they are also dancers. All right? So do it, and when you finish, we'll continue. All right. Now, in the exercise 2, it says, read the article about Misty Copeland. Complete the headings with the words in the box. Okay? Here we have this lecture, but we are missing the headings. So you're going to read it, and you're going to choose these headings to complete the lecture. Okay, do it, and when you finish, I'm gonna play an audio so that you can check your answers. All right, here goes the audio.
Track 2.28.
Fun facts. Misty Copeland. A. Early life. Misty Copeland was born in Kansas City, USA, and grew up in California. Her mother was a Kansas City Chiefs cheerleader. Misty didn't go to ballet classes when she was a child because her mother worked 60 hours a week. She started studying dance at 13 years old. B. Success. In 2000, Misty joined the American Ballet Theater Studio. She studied every day. Her dancing got better and better. In 2007, she was the first African American woman to give a solo performance. C. Free time. Now a famous dancer, Misty practices 8 hours a day. In her free time, Misty loves to cook and relax. On Sundays, she spends time with her husband and family. D. Writing. Misty is not just a great dancer. She's also a best-selling writer. She wrote a book about her life, Life in Motion, and it was a big hit. She also wrote a children's book, Firebird. She wants to publish a new book every 2 years. E. Meals. Misty has to eat healthy food. She eats nuts and dried fruits 3 times a day. She has something light for lunch, like sushi. Misty doesn't eat meat, so she usually eats seafood for dinner. F. Travel. Misty travels a lot. Every month, she dances in a different theater across the country. Misty is an inspiration to girls everywhere, and she loves meeting her fans. G. Sleep. Misty needs to have energy and strength to be a good dancer. She knows that sleep is very important. Wherever she is, Misty always sleeps for 8 hours a night.
Well done. Moving on to the exercise number 3, we have match the beginnings and the endings of these sentences according to the article. So we know that the letter A is she travels every month. All right? She sleeps 8 hours a night. Yes, okay? Continue with the exercise, and when you finish, I'm gonna play an audio so that you can check your answers. All done? Okay, here goes the audio. Pay attention.
Track 2.29. A.
She travels every month.
B.
She sleeps 8 hours a night.
C.
She practices 8 hours a day.
D.
She eats nuts 3 times a day.
E.
She wants to publish a book every 2 years.
F.
Her mother worked 60 hours a week.
Excellent, guys. Now, moving on to the next topic, we have a grammar topic. We have frequency expressions. All right? Today we're gonna see some expressions that we can use to mention how frequently we do certain activity. For example, all the time, once a day, every week, twice a month, every year, every 4 years, or never. As you can see, all the time is because literally you do something all the time. For example, maybe you are always singing, so you can say I'm all the time singing. And then when you do something only once a day, for example, have breakfast, you only have breakfast once a day. Then an activity that you have every week, it can be like once or twice a week. For example, you can practice a sport every week. Then twice a month, this is something that you don't do very frequently. For example, maybe visit to your grandparents, you visit them twice a month. Then something that you do every year will be something like only one thing that you do in the entire year. For example, travel to another city. That could be an example of something you do every year. And every 4 years, that is something that you only do once, and then you don't do it for 4 years, and then you do it again. And never something that you never do. All right? So in the exercise number 1, we have some similar expressions in the box. What you're gonna do is that you're gonna order them from 1 to 6 according from frequent to not frequent. For example, 3 times a day is very frequent. So we could say that this is the number 1, right? 3 times a day. This means that in one day you do one activity at least 3 times. For example, you can cook 3 times a day or eat 3 times a day, right? All right, so write the numbers in these other expressions, and when you finish, we'll continue. All right, now let's check the answers. Which will be the number 2? That's right, every day. When you do something every day, it's the same as saying once a day. For example, in a normal week, you can do an activity every day. So an activity like this could be help your mom to clean the house, or exercise if you exercise every day, or listen to music, like that. Then in the number 3, we will have twice a week. This is that in a normal week, instead of doing it every day, we will just do it 2 days. That's why we say twice. Twice means 2 times. So twice in a week, twice a week. Very good. Then the number 4 would be every 2 weeks. This means that instead of doing one activity every week, you will do it one week yes, then another week not, and then another week yes again. So every 2 weeks. All right? Then the number 5 will be obviously once a month. This means that in 1 month you will do one activity only one time. Once. Once is the same as saying one time. So in all the month you will only do it once. And finally, 4 times a year. This means that in one year, in a complete year, you will do one activity only 4 times. For example, travel or visit your family that is not from this city. Okay, so this is the explanation of these time expressions. All right? If there's no questions, let's continue with the next exercise. Here we have complete the questions with the missing words in the correct place. Okay, so we have here some questions and these are words that are missing. But before you do this exercise, let me explain how to write questions with how often. It is very easy. You just write the word how often, then do or does, depending on the subject, then the subject, the verb, the complement, and the question mark. For example, how often do you clean your room? In this case, like we're writing you, that we're gonna use the auxiliary do. But if we use the subject, the teacher, the auxiliary will be does. So we can have this question. How often does the teacher give homework? Alright? So you only need the word how often then do or does, depending on the subject, then the subject, the verb, and a complement. And like it's a question, obviously you will need a question mark. All right? So do this exercise. In the letter A, we already have it answered. We have how often you travel. We're missing the word do. So like do goes after how often. We're gonna write how often do you travel. All right? Do the letter B and C, and we'll check it in a moment. Let's see. In the letter B, we have how do you buy new shoes? We're missing the word often. This is pretty easy because we know that the question word is how often. So the answer will be how often do you buy new shoes? Then, how often do you call your family? In this case, we're missing the subject. We know that the subject goes after do or does. So, how often do you call your family? All right? Very good. Now, for the last exercise of this topic, you're gonna call your classmates and you're gonna ask them these questions. Do it, and when you finish, we'll continue. Alright, moving on to the next topic, we have a vocabulary topic. The first exercises match the adjective with the meanings. Alright, so these are some adjectives that we're gonna learn in this class. The good thing is that here we have some meanings. So what you're gonna do is that you're gonna try to guess what these adjectives mean by choosing a meaning. What you can do, guys, is that you can Google for these words and read the definitions. And the meaning that is more similar to this definition, that's gonna be the answer, right? They already give us the first answer. The meaning of confident is you are very sure of yourself. What do you think is the meaning of generous? Very good. You give a lot of time and or money to people. That is to be generous. All right, do it. And when you finish, we're going to check the answers all together. All right, let's see. Then we have selfish. Selfish is, yes, when you don't think about other people. Yes, to be selfish is when you only think on yourself. You don't care about other people. Then we have sensible. Sensible is when you never do stupid things. Okay, that is sensible. Then serious is when you think about things and don't laugh much. And finally, we have shy. Shy is when you are nervous about meeting people. Okay, that is to be shy. Okay, now they ask us which adjective always has a negative meaning. That's right, selfish. Selfish is always negative because if you're shy or serious or generous, this can be good. But selfish, no, this cannot be good in any way. All right? Now, in the exercise 2, they ask us which three adjectives best describe you. Use adjectives from exercise 1 or your own ideas. Compare with a partner. Okay, so the first thing that you're gonna do in this exercise is that you're gonna choose three adjectives to describe yourself. And then you're gonna call your classmates and you're gonna ask them this question. You can use these adjectives or you can also use your own ideas. If there is any adjective that describes you but it isn't here, you can use it. Okay, so do it, and when you finish, we'll move on. All right, moving on to the reading section, we have read the comments. Are you or a friend like one of these people? Discuss with a partner. So here we have three comments from the website goodreads.com. Read them and then discuss with your classmate if you are like any of these three, like Eva, Steve, or Patrick. If you're not, well, tell your partners that you are not. So do it. Very good. If you finish, let's move on to the exercise number 2. In the exercise number 2, you're gonna write descriptions of three people you know well. Begin with people think, for example, people think my Aunt Mary is friendly and generous. Then you can talk about your brother and you could say, People think my brother is serious and selfish. Alright? So you're gonna write 3 sentences like this one, but about 3 people that you know well. They can be your friends, your family, your boyfriend or girlfriend, but 3 people that you know well. Alright? Do it. If you finish, guys, that's gonna be it for today's class. I hope that you understood everything. Take care and see you tomorrow. Goodbye.